Who is secretly in love in Hollywood? Stay with us and you'll get the truth, because these famous couples are stronger, braver, and more surprising than the movies they star in. Some romances were hidden for years, and the biggest shocks are still ahead. Keep watching, hit like and subscribe so you don't miss what Hollywood tried to hide from you. The real story starts now. In Hollywood, love stories come and go like movie premieres. But some couples have that rare sparkle that never fades. And when we talk about legendary, world-shaping, laugh-out-loud love, it's impossible not to think of DeGeneres and Portia de Rossi. These two aren't just a couple, they're a whole legacy. They're the kind of duo that has made millions believe in happy endings, representation, and the magic of being proudly yourself. Let's rewind for a moment. Ellen, the queen of daytime TV, comedy icon, and LGBTQ+ trailblazer, didn't just break the closet door. She smashed it open in front of the world. Her courage changed conversations in Hollywood forever. And then there's Portia, elegant, talented, fiercely supportive, an actress who has become a powerhouse businesswoman and philanthropist. Together, they became a symbol of strength, visibility, and long-lasting devotion in a world that hasn't always been kind to queer love. Their love story officially began in the mid-2000s, when sparks flew and paparazzi cameras just couldn't look away. By 2008, the couple said, "I do," in a romantic ceremony that inspired LGBTQ+ communities everywhere. At a time when same-sex marriage was still a battleground, Ellen and Portia stepped forward and said, "Love wins." And wow, what a moment that was. Since then, they've built a life that looks like a movie, a beautiful home, adorable fur babies, careers that keep the spotlight shining bright. But what truly makes them iconic is the way they hype each other like best friends who never stopped falling in love. Ellen celebrates Portia's wins. Portia boosts Ellen through every challenge. They laugh, they learn, they evolve, and they show us what real partnership looks like. Joy that feels contagious, and love that feels safe. Over the years, Ellen and Portia have used their voices and platforms to lift others up, supporting LGBTQ+ youth, championing kindness on a global scale. They've turned their relationship into a force for good. Every red carpet photo, every playful interview, every hug caught on camera tells the same story. Love is powerful. Love is visible. Love matters. In 2025, they remain one of Hollywood's most admired couples, not because of drama or scandal, but because of how steadily they stand together. Ellen and Portia remind us that the most beautiful romances aren't always the loudest. Sometimes, they're the ones that keep showing up, year after year, without losing their sparkle. So here's to Ellen and Portia, the forever couple, the icons, the proof that laughter and love can build an empire. When we talk about famous lesbian couples in Hollywood, they're not just on the list, they are the list, and we're all just lucky to witness their love story in real time. And if Hollywood had a Mount Rushmore of LGBTQ+ romance, their faces would be carved right there, smiling, holding hands, and probably cracking a joke. They didn't just change the rules, they rewrote the script for what legendary love looks like. This isn't the end, this is a blockbuster. Still rolling. Love in Hollywood often comes with headlines, gossip, and too much glamour. But every once in a while, a couple comes along who doesn't need any of that. Because the love itself is the focus. And that's exactly what Kristen, Stewart, and Meyer are. A love that's as strong and sincere as sunshine warming the sidewalk after a long night of theater. There's a tenderness in the way they look at each other, a silent promise in their clasped hands, and a kind of happiness that radiates before they even say a word. Kristen Stewart, once known to the world for her role as a girl who falls in love with a vampire, has grown far beyond the aura Twilight created around her. She's a fearless artist now, a multiple award winner, an Oscar nominee, a bold risk taker. She's an A-list icon not because she tries to be one, but because she never pretends to be anyone other than herself. That authenticity, that quiet strength, is something millions admire. Dylan Meyer enters her story not as a co-star or a publicity stunt, but as a real person. A talented screenwriter with a playful heart, a clear mind, and a calm confidence that fits Kristen perfectly. Dylan writes worlds full of emotion. And when she's with Kristen, you can see how deeply she understands love. Not just on the page, but in the everyday moments that make life magical. Their love didn't begin on a glamorous red carpet. It began with a conversation, a spark. Two women realizing that in a world full of noise, they quietly understood each other. They reconnected years later after meeting on set, as if the universe was waiting for the perfect moment to bring them back together. And when that moment came, oh yes, it was perfect. Kristen once said, with a smile fans will remember forever, "I'm really in love," and you could feel the sincerity in those 4 words. From 2019 on, they became inseparable, walking hand in hand to movie premieres, exchanging loving glances that said more than any interview. Dylan celebrated Kristen's accomplishments as if they were her own. Kristen supported Dylan's creative dreams with equal pride. Their hearts completely devoted to each other. Then came April 20, 2025, a memorable day in Hollywood history. In an intimate ceremony in Los Angeles, surrounded by fairy lights, laughter, close friends, and family, they said their eternal vows, "I do." Wearing elegant mini dresses, exchanging personal promises filled with private jokes, and sharing what fans called the sweetest kiss. The images went viral, not just because they're famous, but because people recognize pure happiness. Now they enter public life as wife and wife, creating art together, building a future together, proving that same-sex love deserves attention, deserves cheers, deserves the world. Whether attending premieres side by side or cuddling on the sofa with their pets, they exude a steady, secure joy. Love doesn't always need fireworks. Sometimes its brightest moments are found in tenderness. Kristen and Dylan show that the right person doesn't complete you. They celebrate you. They remind us that love is choosing someone over and over again, even on the tough days. That we can chase huge dreams and still have someone holding our hand through it all. Their story is still being written, one movie at a time, one memory at a time. But one thing is clear. This is a love that lasts. The kind we support, the kind we believe in, the kind we screenshot and save because it gives us hope. Love can be quiet. Love can be bold. And sometimes, love can be 2 amazing women smiling at each other like the world finally makes sense. If superstar Kristen Stewart can find a love that feels like home, why can't each of us believe that our soulmate is out there, waiting for the perfect moment to walk in? In the world of elite sports, you meet a lot of champions, people who win gold medals, break records, and become household names overnight. But then there are those rare duos who transcend the game entirely. Rapinoe and Sue Bird are not just sports legends. They're a partnership that rewrote the playbook on love, activism, and legacy. When we talk about power couples in 2025, their names sit at the very top of the list, and for good reason. Rapinoe, soccer genius, free kick World Cup winner, Olympic gold medalist. She's the kind of figure who walked off the pitch carrying not only a trophy, but a message. Equal pay, LGBTQ visibility, and the kind of boldness that inspires protests and post-match headlines. Meanwhile, Sue Bird, basketball royalty, 5-time Olympic gold medalist, 13-time All-Star, WNBA champion across decades. When she retired in 2022, it wasn't an ending, it became a pivot toward a different kind of influence. Their story began at the 2016 Rio Olympics, when two standout American athletes found connection in the whirlwind of international competition. By 2017, it was public. They were dating, and the world took notice. In 2020, Megan got down on one knee and proposed to Sue, a moment both personal and emblematic of how they navigate life. With intent, love, and no apologies. But their relationship isn't built on headlines. It's built on shared ambition. In 2018, they became the first same-sex couple to grace the cover of ESPN's Body Issue, heralding a moment of visibility that resonated far beyond sports. In 2025, they aren't slowing down. Post-retirement, they've launched joint ventures, a podcast, a touch more, live events, media platforms. They're not just living off their legacies, they're shaping the next era of women's sports and culture. Picture this: a crisp morning in New York's Central Park earlier in 2025. Megan and Sue strolled hand in hand, informal power in motion. No uniform, no championship belt, just two icons, layered in muted tones, exuding confidence, love, and authenticity. The photo went viral. Fans cheered, because this pair didn't just win in sports, they won in life. New York Post: their careers alone would suffice to lock them into the legend category. But it's their alliance, the strategic partnership, the steadfast solidarity, the shared desk and mic grind off stage that makes them extraordinary. Sue Bird has stepped into ownership and media roles. Megan Rapinoe has applied her bold voice to culture, art, activism. Together, they're an ecosystem of influence. What we can learn from Megan and Sue: greatness isn't just about being the best player, it's about being the best teammate in life. It's about choosing growth and grace off the field, the court, the camera. Love, they show us, isn't a quiet side note in a high-performing life. It's the centerpiece. And it doesn't demand you shrink. It invites you to stand bigger. If two athletes could move from gold medals to global movement together, could your life partnership become your greatest platform? What story will you build with the person standing beside you? Some couples make headlines. Others make history. Rebel Wilson and Ramona Agruma somehow do both, while making the world smile. Long before love arrived, Rebel was already a global sensation. From her hilarious breakout in Bridesmaids to the unforgettable Fat Amy in Pitch Perfect, she built a career on fearlessness and timing. She didn't just act, she owned every scene with a confidence that made people believe in themselves a little more. Ramona entered Rebel's world with a different kind of star power. The quiet, stylish kind. A fashion and jewelry designer, passionate about sustainability, she created brands built on heart and ethics. Where Rebel's energy lights up arenas, Ramona brings a calm glow. Together, they balance each other so naturally that you can't picture one without the other. Their story started through a mutual friend in late 2021. No paparazzi, no cameras, just two women discovering that laughter and trust can build something real. When Rebel introduced Ramona to the world in June 2022 with a single sweet post calling her a Disney princess, it wasn't just a relationship reveal. It was a declaration of the happiness she fought hard to deserve. Fans celebrated with them like they were family. Rebel has been open about the long journey of becoming comfortable in her own identity. Coming out wasn't about publicity, it was about love. Her love. And Ramona stood with her, proudly, from the first moment. Soon, the world saw them walking red carpets together, fingers intertwined, giggles shared, two hearts saying, "We're here." Then came a scene straight from the ultimate rom-com. Disneyland, Valentine's Day 2023. Rebel dropped to one knee among rose petals and fairy lights, a real-life happily ever after. Ramona said yes. The cheer from fans online could have powered its own fireworks show. Their wedding on September 28, 2024 in Sardinia was intimate, oceanside, and full of joy. Matching gowns, waves crashing, loved ones teary-eyed. Later, they hosted another ceremony in Sydney so Rebel's grandmother could witness their promise. Thoughtful, loving, intentional. That's who they are. Now in 2025, their life is the perfect blend of spotlight and sanctuary. They're raising their daughter Royce with so much love, choosing what matters most while continuing to thrive individually. Rebel remains the bold, comedic force Hollywood adores, creating, producing, breaking molds. Ramona continues crafting her design path, bringing beauty into everyday life. They celebrate every victory together, big or small. What makes their love special isn't the fame or the glamorous settings, it's how genuinely they show up for each other. Rebel brings the jokes, Ramona brings the calm, and somehow the world feels a little brighter when they're together. Rebel once said she spent years searching for the wrong kind of fairy tale. Then she met Ramona and realized the right love doesn't ask you to shrink or pretend. It lets you breathe. It lets you shine. Their story reminds us, love doesn't need a spotlight, but when it's real, it creates one anyway. If Rebel Wilson was able to find her perfect match when she finally let her heart lead the way, then could it mean that each of us is one step closer to finding the love we deserve? In the glittering landscape of Hollywood glamour and red carpets, there are relationships that flash in the pan and fade into oblivion. But then there are those rare romances that are built on quiet strength and mutual admiration. A prime example being Chloë Grace Moretz and Kate Harrison. Chloë, who rose from child star to full-fledged actress thanks to roles in Kick-Ass, Carrie, and The Miseducation of Cameron Post, has shown the world that she can master action, drama, and romance. With each step of her career, she has made it clear, talent doesn't age, it matures. On the artistic and elegant side is Kate Harrison, a model and photographer who has collaborated with top brands, shaping an aesthetic of calm, creativity, and personal integrity. A pairing of an actress who rules the screen and a model who rules the image? It seems like destiny. Their journey together began quietly in 2018 when paparazzi caught a moment in Malibu. From that spark, they built a bond that escaped the noise, fostered laughter, relaxed moments, and mutual respect. While Chloë handled the press tours, script readings, and flashy premieres, Kate led the fashion campaigns, behind-the-scenes moments, and editorial features. They grew individually and together. In January 2025, the world took notice when Chloë posted a series of photos on Instagram showing off matching diamond rings, confirming their engagement after years of a relationship only they understood. A few months later, over Labor Day weekend, they married in an intimate ceremony that mixed high fashion with private joy. Chloë in a custom-made pale blue gown, Kate in white, both smiling like they owned the sky. Now they walk the red carpet as companions in life and style. At the Louis Vuitton Cruise 2026 photo shoot in May 2025, the two appeared side by side, each commanding attention in their own unique roles, each shining in unparalleled harmony. Chloë, the movie star, waved gracefully. Kate, the creative, stood just behind with a supportive smile. On Instagram stories, we see them attending fittings at Paris atelier sessions, consulting with designers, holding hands over couture fabrics. Their love is not loud, it's strong. They don't need grand statements. Their steps, their presence, speak for themselves. What's amazing is the seamless blend of career and devotion. When Chloë accepted an award for outstanding achievement, Kate was in the audience, clapping louder than everyone else. When Kate opened a photography exhibition, Chloë showed up to the opening with her eyes shining. Their shared victories multiply rather than divide. They remind us that two ambitious people don't have to compete, they can create together. The marriage they enter into in 2025 isn't a culmination. It's a new chapter. It's the beginning of us as they get used to me. Their story teaches a powerful truth. Love isn't about losing yourself. It's about finding someone who amplifies your voice and helps you stay grounded. It's about showing up in your own way and celebrating together. For fans around the world who are following lesbian love stories in the making, Chloë and Kate offer hope. Hope that you can shine brightly while still sharing the spotlight equally. Hope that you can love each other publicly while still maintaining privacy when necessary. Hope that you can build a life that is both headline-worthy and honorable. Whether you're hitting follow, cheering from afar, or hugging your loved one, dare to treat your relationship the way they do. Not for Instagram or tabloid cover shots, but for laughing together in the hallway, for looking at each other across the room, for quiet moments when the cameras aren't rolling. Because if a Hollywood-caliber actress and a model and photographer can build a love story with authenticity, respect, and joy, imagine what you can build with the person next to you. If you're looking for the couple taking TikTok, Spotify, and the entire Gen Z entertainment world by storm, congrats, you found them. Reneé Rapp and Towa Bird. Welcome to a love story that reads like a chart-topping single, catchy, confident, and unforgettable. Reneé Rapp is the kind of superstar who doesn't just walk into a room, she walks in like it's the Grammys stage. Fans first fell in love with her Broadway power in Mean Girls the Musical, then fell in love again when she took on the role of Regina George on the big screen in Mean Girls 2024. And just when we thought she couldn't get more iconic, she released a debut album that makes heartbreak sound like the best party playlist. Reneé isn't just famous, she's trending every Tuesday. Her voice? Dangerous. Her humor? Even more dangerous. Then along came Towa Bird, the guitarist who plays music like the instrument owes her. Known for her confident stage presence, producing for big-name artists, and wearing the coolest jackets anyone has ever seen, Towa took the music world from who is she to where has she been all our lives in less than a year. After just one guitar solo on YouTube, thousands of people suddenly wanted to be her or date her. Or both. They kept things low-key at first. Low-key meaning fans connected with every matching outfit and mysteriously timed Instagram story. Then came the Vanity Fair Oscars party. Reneé with a look that could restore global peace. Towa with Guitar Hero energy without even carrying a guitar. The paparazzi caught them smiling together like two people who no longer wanted to deny anything. And the camera flash frenzy began. 2025 saw them busy, basically dominating the gay entertainment scene. Reneé's tours sold out faster than you could say internet boyfriend energy, while Towa performed live with productions that left audiences blinking. They appeared together at Coachella. They posted tender debuts, like love letters disguised as memes. And when did Reneé ever affectionately praise Towa on stage? The crowd cheered like 1,000 heart emojis had come to life. Professionally, they were a power duo, writing, performing, and redefining the gay pop star. They didn't just share the spotlight, they also built each other up. When one rose, the other added to the soundtrack. But what makes them so captivating isn't the spotlight, it's how they act when it's off. Late-night recording sessions, candid selfies, a comforting hand during busy press events. They don't perform love, they live it. This isn't Hollywood pretending to be approachable. These are two incredibly talented women who are genuinely young, goofy, supportive, confident, and completely in love. Their romance is like the moment your favorite song hits the chorus. You feel good to be alive. So, when it comes to Hollywood 2025's famous lesbian couples, Reneé, Rapp, and Towa aren't just up-and-coming faces. They're the stars. The ones who bring the buzz, the artistry, the sparkle, and the representation that Generation Z has been waiting for. And if you need a reminder that love can foster creativity, build confidence, and spark profound cultural change, just watch these two on stage together. Because maybe the lesson here is simple. Love should make you feel like the best version of yourself. So why don't we seek out a partner who can excite us the way Towa does, Reneé? Loud, proud, and with killer guitar riffs. In an industry obsessed with the newest face, the flashiest moment, and the fastest trending hashtag, there stands a love story that has never needed a viral push to matter. Sarah Paulson and Holland are proof that romance doesn't come with an expiration date, and influence isn't measured in TikTok sounds. Sarah Paulson has built a career on disappearing into every role she takes. From the chilling brilliance of American Horror Story to her award-winning transformation in The People v. O.J. Simpson, she became one of Hollywood's most respected actresses by choosing complexity over comfort. She doesn't just perform, she fully becomes, and audiences trust her for it. Holland, decades into an extraordinary career, carries the type of elegance that feels earned. Her sharp wit in 2.5 Men, powerful stage presence on Broadway, and Emmy-winning roles have made her a staple in American entertainment long before social media existed. She reminds us that longevity is its own form of excellence. When their relationship became public in 2015, people had opinions, mostly about the 32-year age difference. But Sarah and Holland didn't flinch. They responded the way only two confident, successful women can, by continuing to love each other boldly and privately at the same time. They show up to award ceremonies hand in hand. They sit proudly together in front rows at fashion shows. Holland posts a sweet message, Sarah reposts with a joke. There's no performance, just partnership. On red carpets, Sarah often beams with pride as she introduces Holland. At charity galas, Holland's eyes light up watching Sarah speak. Their public appearances aren't about publicity, they're about presence. Two lives built independently, intertwined intentionally. They understand that careers evolve, trends fade, but choosing each other is the real accomplishment. While other Hollywood couples chase the spotlight, Sarah and Holland treat their relationship like a well-written script, thoughtful pacing, honesty, and a trust that anchors every scene. There's something refreshing about that. They show us that love isn't always butterflies and chaos. Sometimes it's wisdom, laughter, and the quiet comfort of knowing someone truly sees you. Their love story whispers a powerful truth. You don't have to fit the standard to deserve the spotlight in your own life. You don't have to be the same age, same stage, or same anything. You just have to be right for each other. Sarah once said she fell for Holland not despite who she is, but because of it. That's the kind of love worth rooting for, one that celebrates identity instead of shrinking it. And if a love like theirs can not only survive but thrive under Hollywood lights, honest, joyful, beautifully unconventional, then imagine what could happen if you allowed yourself to love without fear too. If you believe every love deserves to shine, no matter the age, gender, or expectations, hit that like button. And join us for more incredible LGBTQ+ stories by subscribing to the channel right now. Because the world becomes a kinder place every time we celebrate love like theirs. In today's pop culture playlist of queer love stories, few couples strike the perfect balance between fame, authenticity, and fan-favorite energy like Hayley, Kiyoko, and Becca, Tilley. They aren't just a power couple. They're the kind of duo that feels like your favorite love song. catchy, comforting, and impossible not to replay. Hayley Kiyoko earned the nickname Lesbian Jesus from fans for a reason. With hit songs like Girls, What I Need, and Curious, she helped redefine queer representation in music long before it was trending. She didn't wait for permission. She gave young LGBTQ+ fans the visibility they'd been craving. Her tours sell out, her music videos rack up millions of views, and every performance feels like a safe space that glows neon. Meanwhile, Becca Tilley carved her own lane in entertainment. From her breakout on The Bachelor to becoming a beloved podcast host and influencer with a loyal audience, she built a brand anchored in kindness, relatability, and genuine connection. Her followers trust her not because she's loud, but because she's real. Their paths crossed through mutual friends, and chemistry did the rest. But unlike many Hollywood romances, they chose privacy first, letting love grow off camera. While Hayley was singing for the world, she was also keeping a secret, a beautiful one. For 4 years, the couple built a relationship no one knew about. Sweet dates, inside jokes, stolen moments, the kind of relationship that felt too special to rush under spotlights. Then everything changed with a music video release that stopped the internet. In May 2022, Becca appeared in Hayley's For the Girls, playing the romantic lead. Fans lost their minds. In a single scene, a gentle touch, a knowing smile, the world understood. This wasn't acting. This was love. Hours later, Becca posted, "Hard to say if this is a hard launch or a soft launch, but it's a launch." It became one of the internet's favorite coming out moments, joyful, playful, and entirely theirs. Since that day, they've shown up everywhere together. Hayley's concerts, red carpets, award nights, and pride events. They celebrate each other loudly now. Hugs backstage, proud smiles during performances, supportive social media stories. Hayley writes songs that feel like love letters. Becca shares photos that feel like home. In 2025, their fan base has only grown stronger. They're influential voices for queer love that is happy, affectionate, and normal, something the media hasn't always shown. Their relationship is a reminder that love doesn't need trauma to be meaningful. Sometimes it just needs two people choosing each other, even when the world isn't watching. They're still considered niche in the wider mainstream, but within the LGBTQ+ community, they're icons of joy. Their love isn't loud, but it echoes far. Because what Hayley and Becca prove is this: you deserve a love that celebrates you in public, but protects you in private. A love that feels safe enough to hide and strong enough to share when you're ready. Some couples become famous because the world notices. This couple became famous because they loved each other and the world joined in. Some love stories never chase the spotlight. They write their own quiet, powerful soundtrack in the background. And that's exactly what Lucy Dacus and Julien Baker are doing. No Hollywood flashbulbs, no trending hashtags. Just two of the most respected artists in indie music, building something meaningful away from the noise. Lucy Dacus is a lyricist who can break your heart with a single line. Albums like Home Video and Historian turned her into a storyteller for those who feel everything too deeply. Her voice isn't loud, but it stays with you long after the music stops. There's a softness in the way she sings vulnerability, like she's letting listeners borrow her courage. Julien Baker, meanwhile, is intensity wrapped in melody. With projects like Turn Out the Lights and Little Oblivions, she writes about pain with honesty that feels almost sacred. Her guitar work doesn't just accompany the story, it is the story. Fans describe her concerts like church, emotional, intimate, unforgettable. Individually, they shine. Together, they're untouchable. Their paths intertwined through the band Boy Genius alongside Phoebe Bridgers. A trio that accidentally became the voice of a generation that prefers truth over polish. Friendship turned into partnership, and music became the beginning of something deeper. They never made a grand announcement, no engineered reveal, just two people letting the world slowly notice how naturally they fit. In 2025, they quietly confirmed what fans already felt. Yes, they're a couple. It wasn't a big headline, it was a moment of recognition. The kind you smile at because it makes perfect sense. Lucy and Julien now tour together, write together, and sometimes, without saying a word, look at each other on stage like the song is a promise only they understand. They are not aiming for celebrity status. They're building a life rooted in creation. Vinyl records, late-night lyric edits, coffee shop mornings in cities no paparazzi bothers to visit. When Lucy performs and Julien stands side stage, you see devotion. When Julien sings and Lucy harmonizes, you hear trust. Their relationship is a reminder that love doesn't always need applause to be real. It can thrive in guitar tuning, in shared notebooks, in quiet hotel hallways between shows. They don't owe the world a spectacle, and yet their presence together feels like a gift. A representation of queer love that isn't styled for headlines, but lived in truth. Because sometimes the most beautiful romances are the ones happening right outside the spotlight, shaping art, shaping lives, shaping each other. Love doesn't need to be loud to be life-changing. You don't have to trend online to matter to someone offline. If Lucy and Julien have taught us anything, it's that the right person makes your world bigger, even if the world never knows their name. Love deserves to shine, brightly and proudly. If these stories touch you, keep celebrating. Like, subscribe, and join us in spreading fearless queer love across Hollywood and beyond.